Today, what I want to talk to you about is toxic clients. We call them vampire clients here at the Business Advisory Academy. And I'm really fortunate that in the past sort of 5 years or so, I've only ever had two really toxic clients. And my sound. Let's move that. Now maybe you can hear me. Yeah, I've only ever had two really, really toxic clients that I've worked with in the past 5 years or so. I've been running my business for 15 years. However, these toxic clients really, really affected me personally. And I don't think that people realize that when they're toxic clients, how it affects people personally, because business is personal. And today, what I want to talk to you about is why firing these clients is so important, and the trouble with having these toxic clients, and how I have worked with so many accountants and bookkeepers and consultants and advisors who have had the wrong clients and has negatively affected them when it comes to growing their business, having an enjoyable time whilst running their business. We want to enjoy work, don't we? And also sanity, sanity in the brain, heart health as well, the stress that can come from having the wrong clients. And that can affect your heart, it can affect your stomach, it can affect your weight, it can affect your body in general. It's absolutely horrendous when we have toxic clients, yet we keep them, don't we? We go, it's okay, we're going to keep them. And today I want to talk to you about that and go deep into these toxic clients. So why firing them seems totally counterintuitive is because what happens is we're like, but if we fire our clients, we lose money. And we work really hard to attract these ideal clients to us. And then we get a bad client, and we've just put as much effort into attracting the bad client as well as the good client. And we just don't want to fire them because it's taken our energy to get them into our world. And we work really hard to win clients, and we want to serve people and help people and make an impact. That's why we want to offer advisory. That's why we set up our firm in the first place. But what happens with these awful, and they are awful. As I said, I've had two terrible clients, and they quietly destroy everything for you. And when they destroy everything, I'm not just talking about your business, okay? I'm talking about a number of different things. The problem is that you said yes to absolutely anyone that came your way. Now, when you run a traditional firm, you probably grew it on referrals, which means that you felt like you had to say yes. And I'm sharing this because this is exactly what a lot of my clients say to me. They say, when I get a referral, I can't say no to that referral because one of my clients has referred them and I don't want to offend my clients. And you say yes. And when you start your business, you don't want to turn down cash because you want to be successful, you want to have money. So you say, I'm going to take the cash and I'll worry about the standards later on, and I'll worry about who I take on later on. Right now, I'm just going to take the cash. And what happened when you accepted these clients into your world is you attracted the non-ideal, misaligned clients, people who don't want to pay your worth, your value, people who ignore your rules, people who don't appreciate you and don't appreciate the work that you do for them or with them. And I call these clients vampire clients. They're the ones that suck the life out of you. They drain your time, they drain your emotional energy. They pay the same or less than other clients, and they cost more than they can give. Now, sometimes, just sometimes, there are people who pay more and are still vampire clients. And that makes it even more difficult because 20% or more of your revenue comes from this one client that is draining the life out of you and ruining the way that you are running your practice. They're ruining everything. The reason why these guys are so dangerous is because they demand more, right? They say to you, I want more. There's more drama associated. They complain. They rarely achieve the results that they need to achieve for them to go, wow, you're amazing. And they don't give testimonials. So they don't say to other people how great you are. They just complain and moan and whinge. Now, most importantly, though, I'm an energy person, and when I get a bad client, they literally suck out all of my energy, which means that I don't have the energy left for my good clients, right? So I'm very proud of the fact that in our implementation program, we have amazing people in that program. And I make sure that I show up with my A game twice a week to talk to those in my leverage program. And I make sure I show up my A game with those who are in my continuation program. And what I would say about that is you can't bring your A game to your favorite, to your best, to your loyal, to your excellent clients if you have clients who are draining the life out of you, because those vampire clients that are draining the life out of you are ruining the world for the rest of your clients. You're ruining the experience that you have with the rest of your clients. So they're really, really dangerous. And you think that you're keeping them because you need to have the money, right? But actually what you're doing is you're destroying your business one vampire client at a time. Now, this is all about self-love. This is all about doing the right thing for you, because keeping them is self-sabotage for the success of your business and the success of your other clients and their business. Your energy needs protection. Your team needs protection. How many times have you had a vampire client that has drained the life out of your team, has had maybe a team member in tears? How many times has that happened? And if it hasn't happened yet, it will happen as you grow your team if you keep on taking clients that are misaligned with your values. So I want you to kind of just do an energy check right now on your current clients and on how you would like to run your business. So after working, so write out all of your clients or put them into a spreadsheet. If you've got hundreds of them, then choose the ones that you are unsure of, right? And say to yourself, do I feel energized, or do I feel flat or stressed or depleted after working with them? And sometimes you might get a client that's going through their own emotional journey with something, and they're not necessarily vampire clients, they're just having a rough time. So you might find that one conversation does leave you stressed and depleted and energized. But what we're looking at is constantly like that, because when you offer advisory, you are dealing with people and people have energy. So I do get people on my calls who are feeling themselves stressed and depleted. That doesn't necessarily take my energy. They're great clients, but they themselves feel that way. And we have to, as advisors, be able to hold that space for them. What I'm talking about is, do you feel flat, stressed, and depleted when they send an email, when they're complaining, when they're moaning, when they're not doing as you ask them to do? Okay, I have this thing. I have favorite clients, right? My favorite clients, the ones that do the work and get great results. And my favorite clients know they're my favorite clients because my energy goes through the roof when I talk to them. It's amazing. I love my clients who do the work and get great results, right? That's why I run my business. So for you must love your clients that do the work and get great results. When you can save money for clients or help a client make money, or they say thank you or give you a great testimonial, they're the ones that absolutely fill your heart with joy. And they're the ones you want more of. So another one where energy check that I want you to have is, when you see their name, do you look forward to them? Do you smile? Or does your heart go, oh my God, I got them on the call? Okay. You're just like, If it's a sinking heart, you need to get rid of them. This one's really key. Would you clone them? Would you fill your practice with them? If you would not fill your practice with these people, that is a vampire client, because you don't want more of them. Now, I know the clients that I would like more of, okay? And I have other clients that I would like, okay, I'll have a few more of those. And then I've got a couple of clients that are like, do you know what? If I don't get ones like that, that's okay. That's fine, right? So I don't have, and I don't allow into my practice ones where it's like, no way, don't give me another one. All right. They're very different. It's a visceral feeling when you're like, no, I don't want more of those. So I have a right fit client rule. And I know if someone's a right client, very rarely does the wrong client get through on a sales conversation. Okay, so when I have a conversation with someone and we're looking at, are you a right fit for us? I have an internal client checklist, which I mentally go through, but I have one rule that sits above all. They must be genuinely kind. And that's really important. I have other rules as well. You must want to make an impact, okay, outside of you. You must want to make money. So if you don't want to make any money for you or for somebody else, then you're not a great fit, because we're striving for the 500, 200, 10, 500 revenue, 200 take home, 10 hours a week delivery. So if you just want to make an extra £2,000, then not a great fit for me. All right, doesn't mean that you're a vampire client. It just means that you're not going to put the energy in to hit the big numbers, right? So what we're wanting in my life is someone who wants to make an impact in the world. We're wanting someone who does want to have a successful business, and success equals money in this world. Free time, 10 hours delivery. So if you are someone who wants to only work 10 hours a week with clients, perfect, okay? But most importantly, genuinely kind. What's your non-negotiable? And it's really interesting because one of my vampire clients came into my world a couple of years ago, and sadly I lost, and this really breaks my heart. And if you're watching, sometimes you watch my videos, if you're watching, I hope you know that it broke my heart. And this is my ideal client, one of my favorite clients, left because there was a cat in the chicken coop hen. And not cat, a fox in the chicken coop hen. And he came into my world, he was a vampire client, and he started upsetting my other clients and doing things that weren't acceptable. And he left, thank heavens, but not soon enough. And I lost one of my favourite clients, and I was gutted. Now, that client and I are still friends, still in touch, still amazing, still meet up. But as a client, she left my group, and it was heartbreaking. I learned a lot then because my gut knew that he wasn't a good fit, and I should have very much have gone, no, I don't think this is a good fit for you. I don't know why I took him on. I think because he had big dreams and wanted to do a lot, but actually he didn't want to put the work in, and also he became a bit of a pain in the group. So genuinely kind is really, really key. Character always before cash. Character always before cash. The wrong character absolutely drains everything. And we are a very loving company, and we care very much about our clients. And I have to guard my world fiercely. And you should be doing the same as well. So as you're running your practice, are you guarding your clients from vampire clients? And maybe your clients don't meet like mine do. Maybe your clients are all separate. But if you have a vampire client, they will be affecting your energy. They will be draining you. And that means that you are not guarding your world for your other clients, because you are the person, you're the head honcho in your business. You're the leader. And as the leader, you need to always be bringing your A game. And if you've got vampire clients, you won't be. So even if your clients don't meet like mine do, you still need to guard your world fiercely, your space, your aura, your everything about you. You need to guard very, very fiercely. Sometimes people are just a bad fit. They aren't necessarily bad, they just work differently as well. Not all people will match your rules of who is a really good client, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they are a vampire client. But when you understand who's good for your business and who's not, then you can weed out those who aren't. We don't accept here in our business chronic whiners and skeptics, people who avoid doing the work, people disrespecting me or my team. This is where this guy in particular was absolutely terrible, and people disrespecting other clients. Again, absolutely terrible. And I know that I'm speaking about it, but I'm not giving any names. Nobody would know who he is. But I think that this isn't spoken about enough on how it affects us in our business. We go, it's okay, I'll take the money, or, oh, I've got bad clients. But actually, it really does affect us bigger than the fact that we go to work 9 till 5 or longer, as the case may be. So what we have to do is we have to teach our team, and we have to teach ourselves what the red flags are. So we need to spot them early. So we need to know what the right fit is for our ideal client. We need to teach what a vampire client looks like to ourselves and to our team. And we have to give permission to ourselves to say no. And say, no, my sanity is worth more than your £2,000, £3,000, £4,000, £5,000. Okay. My client Joey actually took this on board. She was with me for a very short amount of time before she took action on a horrendous vampire client. It exhausted her and her team. She had team morale that was dropping fast. She herself, her happiness was very low, and she signed a client, £102,000 in the first 2 weeks of working with us. Sadly, that client became a vampire client, and she had to sack them, even though they were worth £100,000. Now, I don't want to say to you that Joey was running a multi-million pound business, because she wasn't. She was running a typical bookkeeping business, and her revenue covered her costs and her team costs and gave her a bit of money. And this client that she got, this vampire client, changed her world financially, but it was horrendous and she had to sack them. So she gave up £100,000. So when you're sitting on a client that might be paying you £2,000 or £3,000 and they're a vampire client and they're sucking the life out of you, you have to say to yourself, is it really worth it? Because if Joey can give up a £100,000 client, you can give up a £2,000, £3,000, £4,000, £10,000 client. She wasn't exceptionally wealthy. She didn't have a business that made millions. She's a normal bookkeeping business, okay? And her team and her family celebrated because she got her life back. So I want you to think about that, because it's very easy for ourselves to tell ourselves stories about how we have to keep clients to pay the bills, but you free up energy and you free up space. The problem with a vampire client is they leak into your life. So you think about them constantly. How many times have you had a really bad day with a really bad client and you've got into the car with your husband or your wife and you've started whinging about them and complaining about them? It actually leaks into your home life. And if you don't share it, you have it in your body and there's more tension at home. And this is why vampire clients are the worst thing in the world. You get headaches, you get tight shoulders, you have anxiety, you dread work every single morning, and you want to just hide in your bedroom. And I really want to say that everything I am sharing with you today, it comes from experiences that I have had with vampire clients. And like I said, I've only had 2 really bad ones in the past 5 years, and I'm very grateful. In the past 15 years, maybe I've had 4 or 5. A lot of the time, they're just not nice people, or they're nice people going through a really rough time and they take it out on you. And when they're going through a really rough time and taking it out on you, then they're living in some kind of fear, which means that they're not coachable and advisable anyway. So they might not be awful people. They might just be really bad clients that are having a rough time. It's not your responsibility to look after them and save them. The real reason why we keep these people is they still pay invoices. You fear losing the income. You fear replacing them. Sometimes you might fear letting them down because you're a people pleaser and you want to help everyone. And that is very nice. However, it's affecting you very negatively. Now, one thing that's really exciting about the world today compared to 40 years ago when my dad was running his firm himself, okay, is that you couldn't even advertise. You were not allowed to go out there and do marketing. So in the USA, this changed in 1977, but here in the UK, it wasn't until October 1984 that you could put an advert saying, I am looking for accounting or bookkeeping clients. So word of mouth ruled everything, and you didn't want to upset people, especially if you're like in your 40s, your 50s or your 60s running your firm. You still would be used to the old ways of doing things, which was word of mouth and referrals. And the thing is word of mouth and referrals are okay, but they happen to come sometimes from legacy clients that don't pay you a lot of money, and you end up building a practice where you're underpaid and overworked. So the world's changed now. You can do marketing. You can attract those ideal clients. There's a thing in your mind that makes you think, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. And that's not true when it comes to running your business, because if that bird in the hand is a vampire client and drains all of your energy, then that's leaking into your business. So actually we want to let that bird go and then attract those ideal premium clients. So the solution is actually control. You can now market. You can go out and get those premium clients that you want to get. You can advertise confidently without being in trouble. You can build a predictable lead revenue, a lead funnel, and actually turn on and off when you want to take clients and when you don't want to. It's very easy for you to do. You can turn those bad clients off. You can say goodbye to them, and you can attract those better clients. And that's what you can do. And you can do that in your marketing before you even have sales conversations with them. You can weed out those vampire clients. And today in this video, I've made it very clear. You have to be a nice person to work with us here at the Business Advisory Academy. So I'm weeding out all those who aren't nice people, right? And if you've got this far into the video, you'll be sitting there going, yeah, do you know what? You need to sort this out. You need to get rid of all those awful people in your program or in your business, in your practice. You just need to weed them out. So do a client audit. List every single client that you've got, and do you love them? Are they okay, or are they vampires? And get rid of those vampires. Okay, it will free up your time, your energy. It will give you space to take on the better clients. I 100% guarantee that you can go out there and get premium clients. You might say to me, Amanda, I can't charge more than £300 a month for my services. And I will throw that back in your face and I will say, yes, you blimmin' can. You just don't see your value. And if you don't see your value, then you're not going to get your clients to see your value. So you can get clients that pay you 24k a year or more for your advisory. You just don't know how to do it. And that's okay. You can take home 200k after tax and have a nice life for you and your family. You just might not be able to see how that's possible right now. And you can work 10 hours a week in client delivery. And right now you might be like, I work 40, 50, 60 hours, Amanda. How is that possible? And I can say to you that I have many times, hundreds of times, helped clients get their own clients that pay 24k a year, 50k, 100k a year for their services. But it doesn't start with, okay, I'll do it. It starts with, who is an ideal client for you? What is your offer? How can we uncover all of your experience, all of your education, all of who you are, and turn that into an offer that is worth that amount, that gets people to say, yes, I want to work with you. That's the work that you need to do to attract these ideal clients. But you can't do it if you are too busy serving the vampire clients. So the choice is actually yours. You can keep on doing what you're doing and build something that's hard. You can choose your hard. You can have hard clients, or you can step outside your comfort zone and choose freedom. And that's not easy. Freedom isn't easy either. But you have to embrace the 500, 200, 10 model, which is 500k revenue, 200 take home after tax, 10 hours a week client delivery. So we've talked a lot today about vampire clients and how they suck the life out of you. They are the bane of your life. They will destroy your business. They will destroy your life. They will destroy your team's morale. You will lose good team members. You will lose good clients like I did. I lost an amazing client because of the fox in the coop, chicken coop. Okay. So I would like you to change this. It's your choice. If you would like some help and you want to attract those premium clients that pay you for your advisory, then click a link above or below this video for more details. And if you have any questions, send me a message on LinkedIn. I'll be very happy to answer any questions that you have. For now, I would love for you to think about how you're going to run 2026. 2026 is literally around the corner. And as we go into that year, we are seeing massive changes in the world. Massive changes in the world. And you're still doing the same things that you've done for the past 10, 20 years. And you need to be more agile, and you must adapt with the times. And that means moving into advisory. It means having a business that serves you and makes you happy, and not being a yes man to clients that suck the life out of you. Okay, I hope you found today's video useful. Please do like and share and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you've got any questions, reach out and click the video below this video or above, depending where you're watching it, to find out more details about how we can help you attract premium clients and have a very